Vusi Thembekwayo has totally broken my heart. And this is because he said some things about the xenophobic attack in South Africa that he shouldn't have said. But before we go to Vusi, let's talk about some of the arguments that are not making any sense. Number one, the fact that ANC was supported by Ghana, Nigeria, and Mozambique, and these other African countries. That's the reason why they should not behave that way. I do not think we should even bring that into the conversation. What we should be talking about is South Africans should have human decency to treat other people with human dignity. It's as simple as that. And number two, you're saying that illegal immigrants are taking your jobs. How are they taking your jobs? Are you saying that the government is hiring illegal immigrants in government parastatals? Or are you saying that the companies in South Africa are hiring illegal immigrants? There should be laws around those things. So I do not want to believe that. I think one of the problems is that there's a very high unemployment rate, 31%, which is one of the highest in Africa. And then only 10% or less have higher education. This already is a problem. So if I come to South Africa to open a company, for example, I want to hire the best people. So people I'm going to hire are either white South Africans that are highly educated, or black South Africans that are highly educated, or legal immigrants that are highly educated. So the people that have these jobs are legal. So when you say you're going after illegal immigrants, I'm asking you the question, what jobs do illegal immigrants have? So let's stop these things. The pregnant woman is not the one taking your job. I mean, the girl in school that you have to draw out of school and send back and do all those kind of things to, are not the one taking your job. I'm not here to talk about what your issues are, but I'm saying we have to behave better. We have to do better. Now, going back to Vusi. Vusi made some points. He was in Nigeria last week and he was talking on the platform. He ended his speech with talking about what the issues are.
I want to make three absolute statements. The first is this. Contrary to what you're seeing on the media, South Africans are not xenophobic. Contrary to what you're seeing in the media. That statement sounds a blasty statement, especially because of some of the things you would have seen online. I'm not saying that there are no xenophobic people in South Africa. That's not what I'm saying. I'm simply saying the entire nation is xenophobic would be missing the point.
But come to think about it, how can the entire country be xenophobic? You do not need to be intelligent to know that a whole country is not xenophobic. In fact, no one country has the same ideology. In fact, if you go to some countries and ask everybody if they love their country, you will find some people that do not love their countries. So you don't have to be smart to know that everybody is not xenophobic. So let's not even talk about that. Number two, he also said that someone is pitching us against ourselves.
The second point I want to make is this. I think that there is an agenda to turn us against each other. And I think we feed that agenda when we feed the noise and the fire. And so what I'd like to think we can do is to reach across the divide, have actual conversations, understand what's happening, as they say in Kenya, on the ground, so we can find each other.
Who is pitching us against ourselves? Every time we hear about xenophobia, it's always from South Africa. South Africans have chosen not to deal with their problems and deal with everything that happened before 1992. Instead, they are taking it out on other Africans, and I think this is a shame. And I think this is what it's supposed to address, as opposed to saying that someone is pitching others against each other. It does not make any sense to me. And also, why do you guys like Nigerians and Ghanaians? Why would you come on that platform and say, come, that we have to go across the divide and do better? Do better. Who should do better? The simple thing you need to say first is South Africans, stop this. This is wrong. As someone that is a voice in Africa, you can now go on to talk about other Africans and what we need to do and how we have to come on the table to fix the issues. But you cannot come and gaslight people and say that we need to do better as Africans. We need to do no. First, call out the spoiled child. And lastly, also, he says we need to come together under the church.
The third point I want to make is this. We as a people have to do better, man. Us as a people, dragging each other as a people, fighting each other as a people, swearing at each other as a people, calling each other names as a people, it has to stop at some point. And I genuinely hope that we can use the church as a platform to bring Africans together, because we're different until we start worshiping under the same Christ.
And this is sad because that is what everybody have been using. I mean, during slave trade, they used the church. After slave trade, they are still using the church until today. We are still using the church. The church cannot stop imperialism. The church cannot stop xenophobia. The church cannot reduce unemployment. The church has nothing to do with this. So let's stop meandering and going around these things and not dealing with the real issue. South Africans need to stop this. This is not okay. Let's forget about all those arguments that are falling flat on their faces. Why particularly this is not okay? I'm saying what Vusi has done is because when Elon Musk said some things against the local empowerment law, you could see Vusi was out there speaking, criticizing him on podcast. He was clear about his stance and he criticized him sharply about what Elon Musk said and what Elon Musk is perpetrating. Now, so it means that Elon Musk says something against South Africans, and then it's a problem. Vusi speaks. Now, South Africans are doing some very bad things against other Africans, and he could not come up and say very clearly that this is not okay. I think there's something wrong with that, because it's not making sense anymore. And I expected that someone like Vusi, who is a voice in Africa, would come out plain and call it what it is, that South Africans are doing wrong. You cannot be marching on the street in your thousands and saying immigrants should not be in your country or they have to leave and all of that. If you have an immigrant crisis, other countries also have other crises. It's a crisis, deal with it appropriately. All right, but speak about it and deal with the issue, as opposed to coming out and saying we have to all come on a table. People are pitching us against ourselves. All of those things, it's not working. But well, to the rest of Africa, I hope that we think deeply and do better. Thank you.